Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of Views from Paulys Den. I'm your humble host, Paul Angya Jr. And right now, the theme for this episode is industry tension, accountability, and culture. You get me? We have a layered topics today, man. We have layered. I said it layered. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said layered. But no vex. But we have layered topics today. It's really crazy. What's been going on in the entertainment scene in Nigeria is insane. But yeah, so let's just get straight into it. First things first, we're going to go into the music because that's what this podcast is about. I listened to some new music, of course, this past week. This podcast is about new music and culture and commentary on culture and stuff about the entertainment industry in Nigeria, and obviously highlighting topics and individuals and pushing them out there for you guys to hear about and follow up on. Yeah, so basically in the new music segment, I listened to FOLA. He has a track called Echo. It's a really dope tune. I really like it. Really melodic. He had on the music video, he made a short film. It was a beautiful film concept. He featured Funke Akindele on it. So I think you guys should go check it out. Because of copyright issues, obviously I can't really play the songs, but we have views from Paulys Den Pod Top 20 coming very soon. So in that segment, I will be playing the music. With a proper segment, I'll be playing strictly Paulys Den Top 20 music, and that'll be the music that obviously I picked out weekly that I'm talking about. So back to this week's segment of new music. So like I said, we have FOLA, who has the track Echo, and he featured the lovely Funke Akindele, who has the amazing, BTS movie that shook Africa and like across the world. It was insane. But yeah, so the music is really good. Like I said, slow, melodic, emotionally driven sound. I think I was talking about his story from where he's from and moving to Lagos and hustling and making it finally. I think you guys should go check it out. It shows its intentionality in the rollout. It's not like in terms of Nigerian music. Not a lot of people do short films like that. For their music videos and stuff. I think it was a trend during the era of them Two-Face and them. Yeah, this do a lot of movie type music videos. But these days, people are more stuck to the 3 minutes, and that's about it. But yeah, he's kind of doing it. It was 5 minutes actually. It was a really good song. Really a lot. Talking about a lot of depth. In terms of life and growth and the sacrifices he had to make to get to where he is. So you guys go check it out. Then we have Wizard Chan. Track named Promised Land. I love that song. It's a bit of a reggae vibe, reggae influence, spiritual, reflective lyrics, really good sound, really good lyricist. I've not really listened to Wizard Chan that much, but when I was doing my research on music to talk about this week's pod, he popped up and I really like the song Promised Land. I'm going to do more research on him, and I think you guys should too. So go check it out. He's literally carving his own lane. He's not doing what every other artist is doing, sticking to the Afrobeat or hip hop or the club type of fast track music. No, he's doing more, like I said, reggae influenced music, lyrically sound. Go check him out. Then obviously the next number 3 we have Omah, Don't Love Me. Omah is an upcoming legend in the game. Blew up during the 2020 COVID era. He dropped some mad bangers, had a bit of controversy, but aside that, he's been a steady hitter, steady single dropper. And he's been dropping hot singles. They're really good. So he's really good rather. And the singles he's been dropping have been really good. This one that he dropped, Don't Love Me. It's a melodic vulnerability type of song. He's talking about don't fall in love with him, because because of all the stuff he's been through before, with his ex and everything. But he's like, don't love me. He's being emotionally honest, which is a signature thing in all his music. He bears it out. His emotions, kind of like The Weeknd. But yeah. But it's a really dope song. Very personal and replayable. And he understands mood music. So yeah, Omah really understands mood music. I think that's his vibe. That's That's the signature he's building around. So you guys go check out that song. Then back in the love type vibe again. Wande and Queen Madi dropped a track called Dearly. It's a really, really good song. It's a love record. You know Wande obviously, guys. Wande is a legend in the Afrobeat game. You know, right from the time of Mo Hits. He had his first album, Mushin to Mo Hits, which was kind of like Grass to Grace, a beautiful, amazing album. Oh my god. Oh my days. Look, yeah, that Wande album, Mushin to Mo Hits, an amazing album, honestly. But yeah, he had dropped this song. He's back out. You know, dropped this song with Wande with Queen Madi. Called Dearly. For those who don't know the Wande history, because I jumped from just talking about his first album to talking about this single, you might be like, what's going on? So basically, I did that because Wande is a legend, but this is a podcast. I just realized that I should actually break down a few things for you all. So after his first album, Mushin to Mo Hits, with the record label Mo Hits at the time, which was the biggest record label in Africa, like spewing out great artists like The Band, Don Jazzy, K-Switch, The Prince. So he was in that group. It was like they were the original Mo Hits, you know, and that was before Mo Hits broke up and turned to Maven. That's when The Band and Don Jazzy split up. But yeah, anyway, so after the album Mushin to Mo Hits, he dropped a couple more albums, singles, you know, bangers. Even after the Maven breakup, he was still doing his thing. But he recently he kind of took a breather and a step back. But he just came back with this tune with Queen Madi called Dearly. You guys check it out. Queen Madi is a dope artist as well. She's a foreign artist, US born, Nigerian born, US raised, I think. But I think she says she's Nigerian. I'm not sure. Please don't quote me on that. But yeah, she does have a lot of Afrobeat influenced music. That's what she really vibes with. The ones I've listened to. So this is the first love song I'm kind of hearing from her. So yeah, and she held her own beautifully, man. She sounded really good. Wande still being elite. Wande sound really, really good. Smooth, controlled vocals. Was a dope sound. You know, then ID Cabasa came back with a. Not that I really came back, because 2 months ago ID Cabasa dropped an album on EP called Unfinished Business. And it was a good one. It was a really, really dope album. I didn't really listen to it completely, but this song stuck out to me, which is why I'm talking about it now. It's called Okay, featuring Olamide and Ayanfe. Really, really dope song. Legendary producer, ID Cabasa, you know, upbeat, clean production. Olamide delivered with the lyrics and the rap as well, and Ayanfe really gave us the vocals. It's a proper club banger energy, actually. I really enjoyed listening to it. And ID Cabasa is someone who has been a veteran producer in the Nigerian entertainment industry for years, like decades actually. At least, well, not say decades. Let's say a decade or two. Yeah, a decade or two. Well, he's been entrenched in our sound. He's given us bangers, featured Wizkid and the likes, whoever you can think of in the Nigerian industry. The who's who right now. Well, not right now, but like who blew up during the era of Wizkid, Nate C, you know, that era. He featured, if not all the main ones, basically all of them. So coming back with this Unfinished Business EP or album was a really good one, and this single is really nice as well. Then we got my girl FAVE featuring Driscoll, a single called Cold Outside. Really, really dope single. I love FAVE. She's got this husky, you know, sexy like sound that's just so good and just so hard. And you know, she holds her own. Honestly, I don't think she needed Driscoll on this song, Cold Outside, but I'm not trying to diss Driscoll, man, like for real. But honestly, it was a banger, man. Faye's voice floats on this beat like no cap, and it's a club ready thing. Like she's always had that thing about her, you know. She's always been that artist, and I really don't know why she hasn't crossed over mainstream yet. But everyone has their time. But FAVE is someone that first time I listened to her was on the track Davido featured her on, which got a bit of controversy about her not being in the video or something about, but she killed that hook. And then now she's dropped singles back to back, but this one really caught my eye and my ear. Cold Outside, you know, featuring Driscoll. You guys go check it out. It's FAVE. I really like the song. It's a really dope one. Then we had another track, Aura Salad by Sssoundgawd featuring Migo. This one actually went viral in Nigerian space. I'm a piano type of. I'm a piano, but not really. Excuse me. I'm a piano, but not really. I'm a piano. You know, more bounce, like house and Afrobeats type blend stuff, but it had a bit of controversy basically because everyone was saying Sssoundgawd didn't need Mabel on the track because they felt like Sssoundgawd carried this whole thing, like there was no need for Mabel. And after I listened to the song, I kind of feel like there's actually no need for Mabel. Like, no disrespect to Mabel. Mabel is an upcoming young legend doing his thing, banger after banger. But Sssoundgawd, and honestly, yeah, he's a producer. I think he started off as a producer, and he's doing his own thing now. Coming out from behind the sound stuff, fixing up things, and now in front of the mic. So I like the song. I really, really do. It went viral, and it's funny that it went viral because we were like, "Yo, there's no need for Mabel." That was funny, but it was a really good song, and I think Mabel did this thing as well. But Sssoundgawd murdered that track, man. It's a club weapon, honestly. Once that thing drops in the club, boom, voila. But yeah, so that, and then we also have DJ Tunez, man. DJ Tunez, bad boy. DJ Tunez the problem in the streets. We have DJ Tunez with Dare Come, Kaid and Camo with a track named Stingy, called Stingy. It's kind of like a love song as well, but I think it's kind of saying, I ain't stingy or some type, I don't know. But it was a really, really dope song. I enjoyed every single one of them, all of their verses. I think it was about spoiling your partner, making her feel good. And it was really, really dope. DJ Tunez always with the perfect production, sound, everything built in and seamlessly gelled in together. Very good vibe. I would say go listen to that. Definitely is a banger. Then the only one I'm kind of feeling some type of way is the Skales and Joshua Baraka track, Body on Me. It's a club targeted song, but I just felt it was mid, or I feel it's mid, because it was not, to use the younger generation's words, it was not giving. It was not giving for me. Like I expected way more from Skales because he's really been a bit consistent this last couple of years with his music, and it sounded a bit better. But Joshua Baraka, like, literally carried that track. Joshua carried that track. Joshua has been like my breakout act for this year so far. With that, with the track with what's it called, with Shenseea, Morocco. That Morocco track is really, like, if you guys haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a banger. First it was just him, like Morocco, then he featured Shenseea, my baby girl. He featured Shenseea on the track, and it was that's my breakout artist of this year so far. So he carried this song with Scales, the Body on Me, but it was pretty mid, if I'm being honest. Now let's go into some international thing. Oh boy, you get me? Oh yeah. So for those who know and for those who don't know, we've got T.I. against 50 Cent. This year started off on a beef thing, all in Nigeria anyway, because we started the year off with Black Bones dropping this song at Olamide Black. He's Africa's best rapper at this point right now. And then we also now had Dremo, who is a rapper out here in Nigeria, pretty established. He was signed to OBO, I think, at some point. I'm not sure if he's still signed to OBO, but he dropped a track called Man to Man. Literally called out OBO, Davido, called out Olamide, asking for a verse, called out a couple of people, called out Buju Benson, talking about they have issues over a girl. So like this year literally started off on some hot thing out here, but then to have T.I. and 50, man, I never thought I'd see this, So basically T.I., to give you guys the background, the whole gist, T.I. was calling out 50 Cent for a versus. Now a versus basically is like a platform where different artists come together and pit their music against each other basically, just for the culture, celebrate music and everything. It started out in 2020 by Timbaland and Swiss Beats, legendary producers. So they started out the whole thing, became more than a trend, became a brand, now it's a company, So anyway, T.I. started calling out 50 Cent, talking about, yo, let's do this versus thing, And 50 Cent started, being 50, taking the piss with memes and stuff on social media, on Instagram, and T.I. didn't really respect that, so he went while that was going on, he went on an interview with $1 million of Game. It's done by Wallo and Gilly the Kid. It's an American podcast, a really dope podcast. It's, like I said, it's called $1 Million of Game. So T.I. went on that podcast and they asked him about the whole back and forth between him and 50, you know, doing the whole meme thing on him online and all that. And T.I. basically gave the gist that, yo, I met this guy. They were doing a kind of marketing tour for a TV show or something. And because obviously versus is what it is, like I explained, he said he brought it up to 50 that, yo, let's do this versus thing. 50 was like, yeah, sure, let's run it. And he told 50 that, yo, he would jump out first and then like obviously come out online and call out 50 to do the thing, then 50 will follow up. But when he did, 50 now turned it to a whole thing where he was throwing shots at T.I. saying it's not on his caliber or whatever, doing meme shots. So T.I. was like, yo, he doesn't mess with 50, man, he doesn't respect him. You know, and that's what T.I. said in the interview. That T.I. said that 50 dropped an unflattering picture of T.I.'s wife on Instagram. Oh Lord. Like, yo, the floodgates. Bruh, yo, everything, like, it was war for T.I. family. Like, the Harris family went to war. It wasn't even T.I. because, yeah, no, I think no one expected what happened after that. I think 50 didn't even expect what happened after that. Because basically, when 50 dropped that unflattering image of T.I.'s wife, Tiny, who is a legend. Tiny is an artist as well. She's in a group called Escape, which is a legendary group out in the US. But anyway, so that's who she is. I'm just trying to let you guys understand that she's no one to play with. But anyway, 50 put a flattering picture of her on Instagram, and T.I. and the Harris family went out. So T.I. dropped a diss track called War, which went at 50, man. He took the piss, you know, and then 50 never replied. 50 was just doing the meme thing and all that. But then T.I.'s son Qing just went off on Instagram, started taking the piss out of the Nick and the piss out of 50, boy. Yo, he posted up pictures of 50's mom's grave, because 50's mom is dead. And her name is Miss Jackson. I say this for a reason. So anyway, you know, so after he did the whole thing, after 50, like 50% of the thing on Instagram, you know, T.I. dropped the diss track War. Then King, T.I.'s son, posted up, the first did a short video ranting at 50, calling him out, saying, yo, like, you have so much money but no one to spend it with, no one loves you, and pointing out the fact that 50's son doesn't love him. Boy, this boy went in. I thought that was just it when he did that video. Next thing, like I said earlier on, man put a picture of 50's mom's grave put up a picture on his 50's mom's grave on his Instagram. I was like, yo, you know, go dig up. I was like, right, these kids don't have no chill. No chill. Well, yeah, so when King posted that up, you know, everyone was like, bruh, you know, but I don't really blame him because nobody plays about their mom at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, he posted that up, and then next thing I know, King came through with a diss track at 50, boy, going in at him. I'm gonna do episode 9 where I'll actually try and play the songs. I'm going to proper break down into the disses, you know. But right now, I'm just giving you like a summary of everything. But yeah, so King dropped the diss track and like went at 50, man, taking the piss, calling out his mom, calling him out his name, you know. But then what really blew the internet as of 29th of February 2026 was that T.I.'s oldest son, Domani, oh Lord, hey, child, Domani, oh boy, Domani literally shut it down, boy. What? Domani did drop the track where he sampled, first of all, listen to this, he sampled the Outkast Miss Jackson track. That is one of their most legendary singles ever. Sorry, Miss Jackson, I am for real. What? Boy, he sampled that track, yeah. Then, first of all, you know I said 50's mom's name is Miss Jackson. Now, yeah, this boy called the man, he sampled that Miss Jackson track and literally started talking to Miss Jackson. He did not talk to 50. The boy did not address 50. He started talking to Miss Jackson like, listen, I'm sorry for stressing you, but I need to understand. Like, I need to understand, you know, what's going on with your son, because, like, is this what you envision for him? Like, can you imagine this boy? Man is asking that, come, man, is this what you envision for the boy when you give up your life for him? Yo, look, this guy's beef, this guy's this song, the money's this song against 50 was so beautifully layered. Look, I could cry. I'm not, this is not even like, I don't know about Gasa. See, this boy, oh, Lord have mercy. Look, episode 9, when I check out, look, I don't care about the copyright. Episode 9, I go clear. You guys need to understand what this boy did to 50 on that track. Like, honestly, there's no coming back for 50 on that. Like, first of all, because it's a lose-lose situation. If you reply to the boy, who is a kid, the son of the man that is supposed to be beefing, you go lose because the boy whoop your ass. That's the you get, because what you going to reply and say to him? Then if you don't reply, you still lose. Nah. Look, this was. The money. No, the money. No. Look. Whew. You guys need to go listen to that track. That's all I need to say. That's all I can say about it. But in terms of like the general beef, man, like T.I. also came prepared with the song. Like, it was high lyrical execution, bro. Like, so this beef was. I don't want to call it a beef, because at this point it was a beatdown. The Harris family beatdown. It was the Harris family beatdown, guys. Honestly, but it was a beautiful thing to see the family unit come together and you know, to defend their queen, who is their mom, and obviously his wife, and against what they thought was bullying. And what they felt was bullying, which I felt was bullying as well, because there was no need for 50 to have brought her into the whole situation. It was a beef between him and T.I. So if you don't want to do the verses, you should just be like, yo, G, I'm not feeling that, I'm not trying to do it. You know, but for him to have brought her up like that opened the floodgates. So anything else that came with that, he literally opened the floodgates for it. So yo, it was a beautiful thing to watch. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, yo, to see the family band behind their woman, their mom, you know, like that, you know, protect her. That, like, Tiny didn't have to say shit. She ain't gonna say shit. But nah, that was really, really good to see. But yeah, now let's talk about controversy at home. You know, Benson and his former manager, Bayon of Lagos, they got into a bit of a public spat. So, you know, obviously, before I go into it, I'll just give you a bit of context. Not trying to defend Bayon of Lagos, but I'm trying to understand a different perspective of things before I go into it. So, Bayon of Lagos, as a manager of Benson, or as a manager of personalities in general, if you have a website or you have a business, you know, a platform where people can reach your business, you're going to put your CV, which basically means the people you worked with, your referrals and whatnot. And if you've worked with people that are influential in this time, you definitely put up, you know, the fact that you worked with them and the stuff you worked with them on. So yeah, this is the context I bet you guys know. So obviously Benson publicly called out his former manager as clueless and a scam, because he came across Bayon of Lagos, his former manager's platform, where he had seen an image of himself, Benson, being used as one of the personalities that Bayon of Lagos had managed, which is true. But when he saw that, he got riled up for whatever reason and publicly called his former manager a clueless individual and a scam. He claimed that he had to work 70 times harder than the industry just to be able to succeed. And then he also says that the manager is misleading the new artists. You know, and this raises a bigger issue. You know, you have artists against manager credit wars. Who gets the credit for an artist's success? Is it the manager or the artist themselves? Because as much as the artist is essential for a manager, for their own success, you need to be able to want to be successful. You get, but most people can't reach their potential without help, which is where a manager comes in, because it helps you manage your time, helps you manage things that would have otherwise gotten you or kept you distracted from, you know, your own craft, your talent that you need to focus on to be able to excel, you know. So your manager sorts out all those other things. So him going out and saying his manager is clueless and a scam, even though he had, I think, 2 successful albums under the manager. I think he dropped Askamaya the first single, his breakout single under the same manager that's insulting, and then he dropped an album under this manager. So yeah, you can say that he came in the game, he didn't know what it was, but really, if the manager was really that bad, you would not have gotten access to the people you did be able to be signed by Burna Boy, because I'm sure the manager at some point, some way was able to, make that happen. Because Benson got signed by Burna Boy at some point to Spaceship, which was Burna Boy's record label, I think, at the time, and then he left after a while. It didn't work out, but they still messed with each other. But back to the controversial topic. So in terms of who gets credit, I find it a bit disheartening that Benson will come out like that, especially after when he posted that a lot of media personalities in the entertainment industry, talking about people like Dotun, who are radio anchors on different radio stations, Beats FM and them ones. They are pretty big in Nigeria. They literally were commenting under this post that had covered what Benson, put in story about Bayern of Lagos. They're commenting that they mess with Bayern, like this is not accurate. So for him to have that kind of backing without having to say anything, because he hasn't put out a statement so far. That just goes to show that, okay, things might not be as black and white as they seem, or the way Benson is making it seem, because this guy probably did put in some work if he has people coming out to defend him the way they are. So it was a good thing seeing people come out to defend him, but this is something that Benson has said. And also, like I said, it brings up the point that who gets the credit, at the end of the day, for artist success. Because you have someone out here who is now currently successful, but he's saying, this person that you guys are out here lauding, or he's putting it out that he worked with me, didn't really do anything. I had to work 70 times harder than other artists just to be able to make it because this person didn't know what he was doing. These are the things Benson has claimed in his post. But obviously, you have a situation where if this person was so horrible, how come you're able to make it the way you did? Because the first single blew up, then you had Burna Boy on it, then you were signed to Spaceship. I feel your manager in some way somehow was able to have, manufactured or maneuvered or worked. He must have been involved in this happening or being able to bring this along in some way. So who gets the credit any day, I think, has to be a situation of individual assessment. I went by individual assessment because I cannot find the real word for it, but I mean basically that you have to be someone who genuinely appreciates you and appreciates your efforts into their success, because the way Benson is coming across might be like someone who is a bit ungrateful for what someone has done for him. Yeah, nothing is given. Everything has to be earned and worked for. Wizkid used to be in the studio, according to a lot of claims back in the day. Wizkid used to be in the studio, cleaning up the studio. Even I think after he was signed to EME, man. Like, he put in that grind. Even though he was signed, he still used to have to pay for his studio time. So there are certain things, the manager has his role. If he goes above and beyond, that's different. Do you understand? That's a different situation. But in this scenario, I don't know the full story about it. But in terms of just artists against manager credit, like I said, it's up to the individuals themselves. If you're actually an individual that recognizes this person's effort in bringing you to where you got to, then cool. If you're not, then we have a situation. Well, I won't say if you're not, we have a situation like this because we don't really know the real story. But then you have a situation where the person just doesn't appreciate whatever has been done. He feels more should have been done. But then who builds the success? Like I said, you have the manager. The manager has a lot to do with it. Yes, an artist, you have a song. Social media makes it easier now for independent artists to blow up, where you just have to put up a single or like a hook, on social media. You don't even have to be in the studio. It goes viral. Someone picks you up and you're signed. That happens. But even when you're signed, they still give you a manager because it's needed for you to be successful. So who builds success? You can't really say it's the artists themselves, because if you don't have a structure, if you don't have somebody that's helping you take away the distracting things away from you, sorry for saying the word twice, but if you don't have someone that's taking away distracting thoughts from you, or things that distract you from focusing on your craft, you're not going to be successful. So I think it's a give and take. But industry politics behind the scenes are definitely a big thing. So you need a manager at the end of the day. You need someone that is listening, someone that has the ear of certain people, someone that knows certain brand connects. All this makes you an individual, and with all this combined comes to create that artist, comes to create that star. It's not just one person. That's just my take on the whole thing, but we don't know the full private details, like I said. So till we're able to get a reply from Bayern of Lagos, I guess, well, like there are always three sides to the story: his side, her side, and the truth. So we can never really tell. Yeah, so that's basically what I have to say on Benson and his manager, or his former manager rather. So going into another controversial topic, we have very dark black man against King Mitch and Seyi Tinubu. I don't even understand. If you ask me, I know who will I ask. If you ask me, who will I ask? Like anyway, so the main gist about the thing is well, let me give you the background, at least a summary. King Mitch is a streamer, a Nigerian streamer who went viral for sharing that she renovated a school in 6 days. So when she shared that, obviously, everyone was like congratulating her, some people were questioning. Very Dark Man is one of the people that was questioning. So Very Dark Man was like, he started questioning the funding, and started saying, like, okay, because we're in a election time, next year the elections, so basically this is being politically motivated, and the funding, he has basically saying it has a political angle, and things escalated. Bam. Opposite, he has a political angle. He didn't even stop at that. Like, it was that, if that was just say, yeah, okay. Well, man literally went on to now claim that, that she was licking lollipop. Very dark man, yeah, I know you have a problem. He was like, she's licking lollipop, and for those who understand the analogy, and that's how she's getting the funding and everything. And next thing I know, more boom, she went off on VDM, a Very Dark Man, saying like she's like, those allegations are baseless, and she started calling him out on different things and saying she's never had any sort of relation, sexual or otherwise, aside business with Seyi Tinubu, who is the son of one of the sons of the president of the country. So you all understand how spicy this is getting. And but Very Dark Man literally went on to like say a lot of things which I felt. Now this is where I'm with you when you're right, but if you're not right now, I have to call you out on this. So this is where I have a problem with Very Dark Man. Yeah. So he went on to say things like if she didn't do all those things for Seyi, like satisfy him, pause, allegedly, because you have to be careful when you say these things, but allegedly, if she didn't allegedly satisfy him, she would not be getting the funding she's getting to use and push all these things, political or otherwise. And then it went on to the Very Dark Man claiming that he put up screenshots about conversations between the King Mitch girl and contacts, friends of his, and she was reaching out to them, telling them that it's really escalated right now, and she and Very Dark Man need to come to an understanding. If not, Seyi has said he's going to do this and that, allegedly. And Very Dark Man started claiming that he feels unsafe, and these are very serious accusations because it's coming from someone who's apparently tied to, or who knows Mr. Seyi Tinubu, and then he literally just went on to say a lot of things, and then it led to King Mitch taking attempted unaliving herself, and he now, Very Dark Man, in response now did a video of him attempting to do the same. But yeah, so this is where it's funny, it's fun and games, but I'm sorry, I have to call out Very Dark Man in this situation. I feel like he's been a bully. I actually do. A lot of people are maybe surprised at me saying that, but I feel like Very Dark Man has been a bully because, like I said, I'm with you when you're right. Yes, you can call out the idea of funding, like why should she be getting any sort of funding for schooling, and there should be a system in place for schools like this to work. Yes, that's in an idealistic world, brother. That's in an idealistic world, brother. We're not in an idealistic world. The world we're in is not fair. Let's just get it out there, number one. The world we're in is not fair. So if you don't go and get it, no one is going to give it to you. That's just base level. And then when you now bring it to King Mitch, why I'm saying he's bullying this girl is, what's the point of calling, like, how does her, whether she had relations, sexual or not, with Seyi, how does that concern you? How is that a factor here? I get the idea of you being upset at people or people who get it easy for whatever reason, but how is that your business? If you're talking about the fact that she's saying she's doing an NGO and they gave her money for it and she didn't do it, no problem. If you're talking about the facility itself not being done, like one of very, very dark man's contacts in his Rattle movement that he does, which I commend him for, that he cleans different parts of the states and whatnot. Mr. Livinus apparently went to this school that the King Mitch girl says she renovated, and he found out that she hasn't finished renovating it. If that was just the basis of all of this, I would not have a problem. But him going, like very dark man going ahead to go and say, she's doing this and that, like how is that your business? And I say that because a lot of people, you have no idea what people go through in this world, bro. And I really feel that's bullying. Do you get? And I feel like that's somewhat jealousy. Like, how is it your business? Some people have to do what they have to do to earn. The only person that can judge is God. Even in the Bible, I'm sorry to bring it biblical, but even in the Bible, there's a person in the Bible, I can't remember the exact chapter, and you can Google it for yourself. But the Bible literally says that, if a bad man was to, turn from his bad ways and accept God, he would leave. God will accept him. But if a good man was to turn from his good ways to do bad stuff, God will toss you out. And what I take that to mean, I'm not a pastor, but everyone has their path. People grow up in different situations that God understands. So whatever they end up doing to be able to make something out of themselves, as long as I feel like it's not something that is too detrimental to humans, like killing or something, God will understand. Even God will even still accept murder. Do you understand? It's like you have to obviously be judged by the rules on earth, but God will still forgive you. But when I say that people's decisions on the life they choose to be able to earn, you don't have the right to comment on that, especially if it's whatever a woman chooses to do with her body. I'm sorry, but yes, it's annoying when we have situations where young girls are, chilling but it is what it is. You never know what these people go through. A young girl from an established home can decide to go through that situation and she'll destroy her life. But someone who's never had anything and doesn't have any other option or any other way to make anything of herself, but to be involved with someone who can help her, bro, she go excel. And that guy will help her, or probably even, like, maybe he has his own karma coming for him through God or whatnot. But that babe will excel because, and as long as she excels, and in that journey of excelling, she realizes that, this is not the life for her. She's been able to make something through this bad situation, but she's turning to God. Bro, she go chill. Like, and then one other thing about that irritates me about this whole situation is, you are spoiling it for other people in terms of the other females. I'm sorry. You can call me what you want to call me, but this is the truth. This is bullying. There's no business, like there's no 1 plus. This is not 1 plus 1. This is 5 plus 100. In fact, I'm even giving it. I'm rounding up 5 plus like 97 because it doesn't correlate. It doesn't make sense. Stick to what you are trying to talk about, which is her acts, her NGO acts. That's not a problem. Call that out. What's your business as to the funding that the government should do? Yes, the government should do it, but even let me tell you guys, the Ministry of Education cannot swallow everything. Yes, we have the economy, we have all those things, but at the end of the day, there's a structure that needs to go through. So it's not the girl's fault that this thing is not working out. But she's doing what she can do. She's got a connection here. Okay, please, I have an NGO, can you help me with this? Let me build a school. Let me do what I can do to help other people before your own people before the government gets there. Because there's a lot of bureaucratic tape. Yes, it is not good, it should not happen, but it is what it is. And not just in Nigeria, outside the country, a lot of private foundations, they pay NGOs to be able to, they pay for school gyms, they'll flush out the athletic team, Nike can like, there are private institutions that pay for stuff. So why is it a problem all of a sudden if the girl is getting private funding from whoever? Even if it's not she. That's why I'm saying I feel it's jealousy because she got 100+ million. So how's your business, bro? You were there, you have over 300 or something apparently in your account. So why are you stressed about what the girl is doing on her own? If she didn't do the work, like I said, if she didn't do the work and she's talking about, that's different. If you're complaining about the fact that she has not finished the project in 6 days, yes, I don't get issue. But you're talking about the fact that she allegedly, whether she did not, like how? What's that? And you're saying, lick it up. Like, see, I'm with you when you're right, but bro, nah, bro, like this is bullying. You're being a bully. You have a platform you can use, and you have a lot of people that are following you, that are listening to you, and you know they can learn from you about how Nigeria should be. That is true. But even though we have an idea of how a Nigeria should be, which is why you have a lot of people that follow you, it doesn't mean that you should now downgrade other people's efforts, regardless of how they got it. Yes, as long as they're not harming someone. If you're harming somebody, that's a problem. But like I said, that's up to God to judge. But most people don't have an option or choice as to the lifestyle that they get into before they're able to earn, to even take care of their family. Like, I think she even put up a post or something about how she lost her dad and she grew up. Like, a lot of people don't understand these things, though. And even a lot of people that are following you, very dark man, a lot of your guys, a lot of your followers, they are not pure. Do you get what I'm saying? A lot of them, if they have an opportunity to even meet Seyi and even get that money, they for not even build that school, bro. What are you telling me? That's why I look at when a lot of girls are upset about fine girls getting opportunities, and they're like, bro, all those ugly girls, if they get the same opportunity, they'll do worse. Like, forget that thing. You should commend someone for trying. Commend the babe. You can call out and say, yo, you know, this is not, you said you did this in 6 days, but you didn't. It's not done. Mr. Livinos, he did a good job investigating. I have no issue with that. But when you now bring in the extra stuff talking about leak, yeah, it's funny, it's comedic, I laugh. But my nigga, it's not it. You are being a bully. You are being a bully, guy. Use your platform for positivity. This is how you did. And then, okay, forget this one. You did this one with this girl, King Mitch. Then you also had another issue with the guys that did the whole kidnapping, paying for ransom. I've forgotten his name. But I like that you did investigative work on that. Yeah, but when you have situations like it feels like you're bullying someone, that's a different situation. Do you get this one with King Mitch talking about the school and all that? Yeah, that's fine. The one with that guy that was doing Kinikon with the money, I get like you are doing a good job, but then when you now put it out there about and put out someone's business, someone's personal business, that's why I have an issue with you. Do you get? You know, it doesn't that one is not gelling with me at all, guy. And even on that, you have a situation where Seyi came out and said, yo, nothing ever happened between him and this girl, though. Like, he literally met her, heard that she said she's got an NGO, and that was the point of their interaction. I was like, okay, you know what, I'll do a bit of support in the NGO, and then we'll have a follow-up meeting where I can know what I want. Do you understand? He has come out and said that you don't have proof for anything else. And even if you did, bro, why? Why? You're literally spoiling for other people, because there are other girls that will be like, person give money like that, I'll lock up. Because between me and you, guy, if she kept the money in her pocket and she didn't say anything for no, she wouldn't have said anything. Most likely, if he didn't, like, let's say if allegedly, if, like I said, if they had anything going on and she gave her the money and she didn't say anything, he'll probably just say, oh, come, you should have done this, but you don't. Nobody will know anything. So all this one you're talking about, bro, that's what I'm saying. It don't make sense, guy. The girl came out, they gave her a bit of money for her. Yes, there was plenty, whatever. At least she tried to do something. Even if you say, oh, she had ulterior motives, and what, she shall put her for someone. And with the fact that she put it somewhere, it gives you the leverage to be able to hold her accountable and say, come, you have not finished, so what's up? That's where you should have gone in, not talking about the fact that she's, whether or not she's involved with person, like teasing the poor girl. Guy, that's bullying now. And that's called as jealousy for me. Because why? Because she's doing this, doesn't she have the right? It's like, whatever she wants to do is her business, bro. We have body in our business. She's not hurting you, is she? Like, man, nigga, you got me out here stammering, bro. Like, come on. Now, what's your problem? Like, when does online activism? I can't even spell. This guy is pissing me off. When does online activism, become reckless? Public accusations without evidence. You get me? Misinformation. Like, it's crazy that you have death hoaxes. She's saying she did commit suicide. I'm not commenting on all that because that's unnecessary drama. This is online platform stuff. And then him is doing his own, that's fine. But when you now start coming across like you're bullying somebody, that's when I have an issue. Do you get? That's when I have an issue. When it comes across like you're bullying somebody. Like, guy, come on now. Like, couldn't you have done better? Like, there's a way you would have approached this whole thing that would have made a bit way more sense. Like I said, focus on the project itself. Stop talking about her personal matter, bro. Like, guy, like, even on top of that, that's how bringing it to the Mirabel thing. Man heard about Mirabel. For those who don't know who Mirabel is, Mirabel is a young lady who's a TikToker. Yeah, I guess he has a thing for TikTokers or streamers. But yeah, Mirabel is a young lady who's a TikToker, and she put out a claim that she was assaulted, you know, but she never accused anyone. And then the story got amplified by a very dark man, obviously because of his platform. And everyone went on it and they were really upset, you know, following up on the girl. Then the next day she came out to say, yo, like she was lying. I think it was because of a conversation, apparently a conversation with a very dark man following up on the case. He realized she was lying and advised her to come out and say she was lying, and she did, you know. But then that just caused a whole myriad of things. But I bring that back to the very dark man thing. Like, if you'd have done your research, bro, from the jump, found out what was going on. I get, like, that claim is very, 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 very heavy, especially for people that are involved and women that have experienced such assaults. But then you, with your platform, you have an extra responsibility, because you disseminate information. So anyone listening to you from your ears feels that, bro, you've done your research. So you should have done your research on this issue, Mirabel. I'm sorry, bro, I'm calling you out on it. No cap. You know, not having her come out the next day and come and be apologizing after she's made the whole country go haywire. And false accusations are so dangerous, especially for people that have experienced these things, because they don't have an option. People will not believe them. They'll go and that's how they'll go and tell police, oh, some guys don't look at the poor young lady that, oh, this will not be an armed Mirabel. You know, so bro, do your due diligence, guy. It's not to be coming and be insulting people and be trying to embarrass people. You have a responsibility to your viewers, guy. You have a responsibility to your viewers. Be careful of what you're putting out. You are so lucky, bro. If you're the Yankee, go and ask Tasha K. Cardi B has finished suing that babe. How much she gets? She has to keep being on YouTube. You have to pay her lawsuits. You get locked in Nigeria, you did. People don't get your time. I'm being honest with you, guy. They don't, because if you keep pushing out things that are alleged, you don't have any facts behind it, bro. For the Yankee, they go, bro. All these apartments where they shoot inside now, guy, go back, you'll be shooting in Zanga. Careful about what you're putting out. Do your due diligence, your research. Like, Nigeria is in a really volatile stage right now, so people are following you, they are listening to you. So you have an extra duty of care to be responsible about what you put on your platform, bro. As much as you might not like it, you're the head of Rattel now, until you call yourself. If you are doing all this work, you are doing good work, I will say, yeah, you did good work. You do bad work, I'll call you out on it. And this one, bro, you're supposed to do better. But thank you you told the Mirabel girl to come out and do the retract her statements, which also was to your own benefit, because, guys, now you pushed the whole narrative. Yeah, she posted it out, but it didn't really get viral till you really pushed it. But anyway, yeah, so she, in terms of Mirabel, she, like I said, she recanted her statement, but that really just pushed the whole narrative across the Nigerian media space. And then it brought in a formula name, a popular name by the name of Simi. Simi is a great Nigerian artist. But when the whole news about Mirabel broke, she put out a really emotional tweet calling men rats. And basically say men, not calling them men rats. Let me say she said men should be treated like rats and snakes that they are. And went on to say the only reason she's with her husband is because he listens to her and is obedient. You know, it was really, you could tell she was being emotional, but it was a pretty dumb post, I'm being honest, to have put out. But she got a lot of backlash from it. And unfortunately for her, Mirabel also then recounted her statement, like I said, and she had a situation where a Twitter user mentioned her and said, yo, so now that we're talking about false accusations, what do you think should be a crime for false accusers of such crimes? You know, when you're accusing them, you get what I'm saying? Well, that's how Simi was like, yo, nah, man, that she doesn't care about that. Basically, you should focus on what she was talking about, you know, women facing such assaults. Bruh, Twitter went at her again. You know, like, yo, that she lacks accountability, she cannot apologize, she's being rude. They really tore into her paws, you know. But she put out a tweet after a while saying, yo, she apologizes and she's going to stop defending people. She's just going to focus on herself, which I advise her to, because man, that was a really poor decision from her to have gone ahead to categorize all men as rats, and or rather all men should be treated as rats and whatnot. That was really, really sad to see that coming from Simi. I understand that she's really emotional, and I know for a fact actually, a lot of women experience this assault in their formative years or at some point in their life. Most women do. A lot of my female friends, 90% of my female friends, have confided in me that they have, you know, been in a situation where they have faced something like this. So, you know, in that kind of, I understand her emotional outburst, but the way she went to it and everything was just poor, and it was disappointing what she said, and then even bringing her husband into it was so disrespectful, you know. And so, but she apologized. Unfortunately, you know, the social media does not forgive, especially if they are on you, especially Nigerians. So some tweets, some of her 2012 tweets, old tweets resurfaced, where she had shared things about when she was in her mom's daycare, helping out there, and she had shared thoughts about what a little kid was doing to her, and that made the whole internet go wild. Like, yo, these are the very inappropriate words and things she's saying. I'm not going to share them because she put out a statement saying, yo, she never said any of this out of the point of perversion. You know, if you guys are so interested in what she said, you can go follow it up. But to summarize it, she was like, the boy David is looking at her like he's trying to kiss her. Should she let him? That was the first one. And the second one was about the kid putting his hands up her shirt, and she's hoping his hands are washed. It depends on how you read it. A lot of people, like, they went off at it, and she was just saying, yo, she's just tweeting about her. She was tweeting about her daily life at that point and whatnot. So, but she said, yo, she's never been she's never been the person who was perverted or a pedophile in any way, and she wasn't tweeting out of the point of perversion or anything. She was just sharing about her daily life, and she wasn't trying to harm her. She didn't harm anybody. So there's been no accusation against her or any claim brought against her for any such actions. You know, just tweets and everything that's happened during that whole time frame about what she was saying with assault and all that. You know, I think it just heightened the whole energy and emotions about the tweets that resurfaced. But I'm going to take her by her word, and I really like Simi, but I was just really disappointed by everything. And her husband, Adekunle Gold himself, was disappointed. He put out a few tweets himself, and some tweets about him came out as well. But he basically at the end of the day came out that, yo, he loves his wife and is standing behind her, and I respect him for that. They're a married couple. Whatever they have going on indoors should stay indoors. You know, when you have situations like this, your laundry being put out in the public for people to see, and you're a public figure at the same time, so your comments are going to be scrutinized either which way. But yeah, guys, this has been episode 8. You know what I'm saying? It's been heavy. We've had new music. I brought up, you know, the what's his name, FAVE, and so many other new artists. But you know, new music has been amazing, but the culture has been really, really tense recently with Very Dark Man, Benson, you know, social media amplifying everything, you know, accountability. It's brought up the fact that accountability matters with the whole thing about, you know, the Mirabel girl, and so does fairness. You know, which is why I also stated about Very Dark Man and his comments on King Mitch. But we need balance, not more, bro. That's just what I'll say. We need balance in everything. Yeah, my guys, please. So whoever you're following, whoever you support, just make sure you ask them to keep balanced in their commentary. If they feel so deeply about something, they should do their research first before, you know, point their emotions into it. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been Music Beef Accountability Culture. You get me? Views from Paulys Den Podcast. You never see something. Your father. But yeah, industry tension, accountability, and culture. It's been episode 8. I'm sure you enjoyed it. Like I said, please like, subscribe, and share so we can be in the algorithm. Merchandise is coming very soon. Can't wait to see you guys in episode 9. Now watch out for monthly Paulys Den Pod monthly top 10 or top 20. I'm gonna be putting out some nice music. I'll be DJing the thing like chicka. Yo, guys, don't worry. You about to set this out. So can't wait. Thank you guys for joining me. Can't wait to see you on the next episode 9. It's your boy Paul Angya Jr. Bruh, let's go. Daddy.